God bless you. Today we're going to be doing a study about Easter, as it's nearly, of course, Easter time. So we're going to start with today on Palm Sunday. So if we go to that's where Jesus comes into Jerusalem on the donkey, and they all celebrate. So we go to Mark chapter 11, verse 1 to 11. Okay. Now when they drew near Jerusalem to Bethphage and Bethany at the Mount of Olives, he sent two of his disciples, and he said to them, "Go into the village opposite you, and as soon as you have entered it, you will find a colt tied on which no one has sat. Loose it and bring it, and if anyone says to you, 'Why are you doing this?' say, 'The Lord has need of it,' and immediately he will send it here." So they went their way and found the colt tied by the door outside on the street. And they loosed it, but some of those who stood there said to him, "What are you doing, loosing the colt?" And they spoke to him just as Jesus had commanded them. So they let them go. Then they brought the colt to Jesus and threw their clothes on it, and he sat on it. And many spread their clothes on the roads, and others cut down leafy branches from the trees and spread them on the road. Then those who went before and those who followed cried out, saying, "Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the kingdom of our father David, that comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest." And Jesus went into Jerusalem and into the temple. So when he had looked around at all things, as the hour was already late, he went out to Bethany with the 12. So he's gotten a donkey, so he's to ride into Jerusalem, and everyone's really happy. So they're for example, like the leaves, they've put it, which is, we know, is palm. That's why it's called Palm Sunday, because the palms is the leaves. They've put them down so that way he doesn't have to walk on the road. So now we're going to go to John chapter 12, verse 12 to 17. Sorry. Here we are. Okay, I'll begin. The next day, a great multitude that had come to the feast, when they heard that Jesus was coming to Jerusalem, took branches of palm trees and went out to meet him and cried out, "Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, the King of Israel." Then Jesus, when he had found a young donkey, sat on it, as it is written, "Fear not, daughter of Zion. Behold, your king is coming, sitting on a donkey's colt." His disciples did not understand these things at first, but when Jesus was glorified, then they remembered that these things were written about him, and that they had done these things to him. So I don't know if I said that was John chapter 12, verse 12 to 17. So he's gone on the donkey, explains here the reason why he's done that is to fulfill a prophecy that he would come in on a donkey. Of course, it says here, "Your king is coming," which is Jesus sitting on a donkey's colt. So now we're going to continue now with Matthew chapter 21, verse 1 to 11. Where is it? Here we are. Verse chapter 21, verse 1 to 11 of Matthew. Okay, I'll begin. Now when they drew near Jerusalem and came to Bethphage at the Mount of Olives, then Jesus sent two disciples, saying to them, "Go into the village opposite you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them to me. And if anyone says anything of you, you shall say, 'The Lord has need of them,' and immediately he will send them." All this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet, saying, "Tell the daughter of Zion, behold, your king is coming to you, lowly and sitting on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey." So the disciples went and did as Jesus commanded them. They brought the donkey and the colt, laid their clothes on them, and set him on them. And a very great multitude spread their clothes on the road. Others cut down branches, which we know was the palm trees, from the trees and spread them on the road. Then the multitudes who went before and those who followed cried out, saying, Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest! And when he had come into Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, Who is this? So the multitude said, This is Jesus, the prophet, from Nazareth of Galilee. So, here it talks more about a prophet was said about that, and then it also talks about he gets a donkey, and then of course he comes in and they're celebrating, saying Hosanna. And then now we're going to go to Zechariah, where we will actually read what Zechariah said where it says, all this was done that it might be filled which was spoken by the prophet. The prophet was Zechariah. So now we're going to go to the book of Zechariah. And we're going to go to chapter 9, verse 9 to 10. Okay, here it is. So that's chapter 9, verse 9 to 10. The coming king. So, the coming of Jesus. Explains here. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king is coming to you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey. I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem. The battle bow shall be cut off. He shall speak peace to the nations. His domination shall be from sea to sea, and from the river to the ends of the earth. So it talks about Jesus and his coming, and then of course it says a bit more here about what says as well as here in like Mathew, for example, it just says, Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion, shout out, O daughter of Jerusalem, behold, your king is coming to you. And then it also go in like John, I think it was, he also says he's just having salvation, lowly and riding on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey. So it just merges it together. So that's that in Zechariah. And that is the end of our study. I hope you've enjoyed it and you've learnt more about why we have Palm Sunday and what's it about. God bless you. Goodbye.